Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours from me and mine. That's mine right there. Gareth, Kwok. I'm Tyler Manion. Welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. But Gareth, as a show, we have one Valentine, and that's sports.
You're exactly right. I mean, we cover sports for a living. I mean, we live and breathe it. Might as well just bought the engagement ring already because of that strong relationship we got with sports.
We do, and it is Valentine's Day tonight. Gareth, do you have any plans for the night?
You know, Tyler, I don't, but I do know of a great idea where you could spend your romantic Valentine's Day.
What is that?
And spend it at Phoenix Muni. Because as a matter of fact, with the Sun Devil baseball team about to begin their 2020 season, we send it out to our own Peyton Gallagher, who breaks down the storylines you need to know before first pitch.
You may already know the names Hauver and Workman, Alika Williams, and Spencer Torkelson. But for the Arizona State baseball team to reach their lofty goals this year, it's going to take much more than just their stars. This is Tyler Thornton, the long-haired hurler that hopes to help ASU to Omaha in 2020. A year ago, while pitching in the West Coast Conference for St. Mary's, Thornton was National Freshman of the Year. He was also a walk-on.
Like, I come in there and I wasn't really expecting much, and the coaches weren't either, but I pitched good in the fall and it gave me a chance. So yeah, I just made the most of it.
It was a chance that Tyler ran with, recording a 10-2 record and a 2.71 ERA. When Thornton's services became available this past summer, every team in the nation wanted him. ASU, however, had an ace in the hole.
Tyler, the way that happened was kind of a unorthodox recruitment. Nick Chima was a guy that was with our program, left our program to go to Central, went to St. Mary's, and then left St. Mary's. And he picked up the phone and said, "Hey, my buddy just went on the transfer portal and he has interest in ASU." Yeah. And I said, "Is he any good?" And he said, "Yeah, he's pretty good." He said he's got a chance to pitch for Team USA this summer. And I said, "Oh, you better send me his number." So that's how it started.
It's been weird, especially when I was in the transfer portal. Like when coaches were actually calling me, that was way different than out of high school.
A year ago, nobody knew Tyler Thornton's name. Now, he has a chance to etch it into Sun Devil history. With opening day soon approaching, one thing is for certain. The next time Tyler takes the mound, no one will think he's just another walk-on.
Number 29, Tyler Thornton.
Reporting in Tempe, Peyton Gallagher, Cronkite Sports.
And now we bring in Peyton into the studio to talk a little bit more ASU baseball. And Peyton, you gave us a look at one member of the group for new pitching coach Jason Kelly from the University of Washington. How does this overall pitching staff make strides in 2020?
Well, yeah, Gareth, you talked about rings earlier. If ASU is going to get a ring of their own this year, it's going to be because of this pitching staff. We know they can hit, but Jason Kelly comes in, 3.8 ERA last year at Washington, comes in to rehab this pitching staff, and that's going to start with some new faces. Tyler Thornton, we already talked about, is going to be in the rotation, and Justin Fall, the JUCO transfer. How can he get the best out of those guys? There's going to be a lot of pressure on the team, but not a lot of pressure on these pitchers. Great support staff, great offense to back them up.
Well, Spencer Torkelson and Hunter Bishop from last season, they were named the Bash Bros because they could hit a lot of home runs, as a matter of fact. But Bishop, he's left for the draft already in June. Has 22 home runs and 63 RBIs to replace. So how does Tracy Smith find a way to make up for that production?
Well, Gareth, you don't really replace a player like that. Hunter Bishop was so good, and that tandem was the best in college baseball, quite frankly, in terms of power hitting. But coming into this year, this team has a lot of answers to fill with this offense, and that's going to start with supporting Spencer Torkelson, making sure teams have to pitch to him. That comes with the guy hitting before him and the guy hitting after him. Trevor Hauver, Gage Workman, all these guys, they have an above 400 OPS. Can they get on base? Can we have ducks on the pond for Spencer Torkelson to drive in? That's going to be the question for this offense.
Well, the grind begins for ASU baseball tonight. This guy also grinds out a lot of content for us here at WCSN, and you can check out all of Peyton's work on CronkiteSports.com.
From 90-foot base paths to 60, the ASU softball team has had an eventful start to the season, to say the least. So much so that we need 3 reporters to break it all down. Gentlemen, what did we miss?
Ciela Meza was nearly perfect in the season opener against Portland State, until she gave up a hit in the top of the 5th. Well, she made up for that one hitter the only way she knew how, by tossing a no-no on Sunday night against Seattle, where she dominated with 14 strikeouts. The Long Beach State transfer and now second-year Sun Devil has her 3rd career collegiate no-hitter and her 1st as a Sun Devil.
On Saturday night, the Sun Devils were trailing the number 14 Northwestern Wildcats 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. With a runner on first and 1 out, senior center fielder and All-American Kendra Hackbarth stepped up to the plate. Facing a 2-2 count, Hackbarth took a pitch high in the zone deep into the Tempe night, giving the Sun Devils the 6-5 advantage in walk-off fashion.
The Sun Devils are hosting their second tournament of the young season, the Littlewood Classic here at Farrington Stadium, beginning with a doubleheader against Illinois State and Kentucky today. They'll then face the University of Detroit Mercy and a second contest against Kentucky tomorrow before capping things off against Boise State on Sunday. The biggest task will definitely be the Wildcats, an undefeated 4-0 on the season and ranked 10th in the nation, according to the NCAA. It should be a good one here in Tempe.
Sticking with softball, Cronkite Sports reporter Reed Harmon took an interesting approach to an interview with freshman pitcher Morgan Linestock. Take a look.
So the first thing that I noticed when I researched you was that you were born deaf.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And you have a cochlear implant in one of your ears.
Yes,
right?
my right ear.
So your parents knew when you were about 2, 2.5?
2.5.
And they knew because you were unable to speak with them. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, I wasn't, okay, so my mom would be calling my name. She'd be like, Morgan, and like I wouldn't respond to her like saying the words.
Right.
And so actually I actually learned a lot when I kept getting interviewed by people about this.
Mm-hmm.
I got tested.
Okay.
I had puzzles right in front of me, and I would do puzzles like right away, and I would figure it out. And then once they took me to the hearing test, and it was like some headphones with like beep noise, and I'd have to click the button if I hear a beep noise. I was never clicking the button.
Oh,
so that's why they figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fast forward to your softball career, being a pitcher, what made you want to become a pitcher out of all positions that you actually really need to hear being a pitcher, right?
I just loved, I loved being a pitcher. I actually loved that position. I had the ball every time. I loved it. Like I would get to compete more.
What was the feeling like just to compete? What was it to lose, to win? What was that feeling like compared to anything else you've ever experienced?
Well, I'm that type of person who loves to win.
Yeah.
So when you lose, it's like you gotta go, like you gotta leave it away and like just go on to the next game and win the next game.
It was a tale of 2 matches for ASU men's tennis last weekend against a pair of Big Ten opponents. The Devils were swept by number 2 Ohio State in Columbus 7-0 last Friday, but scored a 7-0 victory against Michigan State on Sunday in East Lansing. The silver lining that came from the Ohio State match was when ASU's doubles pair and number 18 ranked Tim Rule and Andrea Boya defeated the number 1 doubles team in the nation. Rule and Boya won their match 6-4, although ASU was not able to salvage the doubles point for the team. The Devils will be back in action next weekend when they face Texas A&M on Sunday in College Station.
From rackets to hoops, we're going to take you now as we bring in this guy right here, Gabe Swartz, my man. So ASU hoops, we know, Bobby Hurley's team, they're on fire right now. These last 7 games, they've been doing really well. Break it down for me. What is the difference?
Well, ASU's been a great defensive team all year long, and that's been something they've been able to rely on. But recently, the offense has changed, and it's been a lot better in transition and in the half court. Both ends coming together as one, and that's why they've won 6 of their last 7. So let's get to the tape.
Show me the monitor.
This past Thursday against UCLA, ASU gets a rebound from Romello White. It doesn't look like they've got the numbers here. You see UCLA's got 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders back. The whole team basically back. Kamani Lawrence there. You can't see Rob Edwards. He's up there as well. Kamani Lawrence gets the ball, takes it to the rim. You would think he might take a shot up there, but he doesn't. Passes out to Rob Edwards.
Remy Range, by the way.
Remy Range from the Desert Financial logo. Here, Elias Valentine gets it, and because Romello White walks his defender up the lane, Tyrell Terry has to come down. Elias Valentine has this little pocket down the...
Pocket pass.
There we go. And Kamani Lawrence hits the 3. He was 6 for 38 from 3 a couple weeks ago. Now he's hitting shots.
Yeah,
Alonzo Verge, he draws defenders to the rim. He's just a freaking magnet with 3 guys there. He's got options like a man on Valentine's Day. Jalen House there in the corner. Mickey Mitchell on the wing. Khalid Thomas is screaming, give it to me, give it to me. And now he's wide open. Bang. That's the difference in the ASU offense. It's wild what happens when you move the ball, and they're finally learning that.
It's crazy when it happens when you move the ball.
Exactly.
You make passes, you get options like a man on Valentine's Day, as you said. But you mentioned earlier the defense has been stellar all season long, so what's going well on that side of the court?
Yeah, so ASU is the number 23 team in defensive efficiency according to KenPom. They've been great all year long.
Big advanced metrics guy.
Big advanced metrics guy. But it comes down to Jalen House, it comes down to Remy Martin, and those guards, the guard you mentality. It used to be on offense. This year it's on defense, just how much they harass guys and hound guys. They've forced over 40 turnovers in the past 2 games. USC and Stanford just handing the ball to him. It's because of plays like this. Jalen House forces the dribble. Alonzo Verge sees it. He sees the eyes are just focused on House.
And no one wants to go against that, by the way.
There we go. It brings the double team, forces the jump ball. That's the kind of stuff. USC had already committed 13 turnovers to this point. So USC gets the ball and they're thinking we're going to get set up in our half-court offense. Trojans are only down 2 at
And
this
look
point.
how far he's picking up again in the half court as well.
Yes. So Jalen House gets the ball still at the perimeter. 13 seconds to go on the shot clock. Not a lot of time to work to get the flow and get the play going. Remy Martin sees this, sees the back is turned, and he's just going to make a blind pass. Martin jumps the passing lane.
Cookies.
There you go. Coast to coast for an easy slam.
Thank you very much. Sneaky man Remy Martin is. That bounce, though, not sneaky.
Yes.
He's going to dunk on you. And he did it a few nights ago. He did it last night. He's doing it all the time. But, Gabe, here's my thing, right? This was all well and good. Those unis, though.
Got to keep them rolling until they lose.
It has to be, right?
They better. It's got to fall off before they.
A second skin, basically. Great stuff from Gabe now. But to look at the rest of the Pac-12 basketball standings, it's been a mess, frankly. And for that, we're going to bring in Nick Hodel with this week's edition of Impact.
With just under 1 month to go until the Pac-12 Conference Tournament tips off in Las Vegas, the conference is as wide open as it gets. Oregon win last night against Colorado put the 2 teams in a tie atop the Pac-12 standings at 8-4, but they have stiff competition on their heels. Arizona and Arizona State are just a half game back at 7-4 in conference play, and USC and UCLA are sitting at 7-5, creating a tight 6-team cluster at the top of the conference. A little bit further down the conference standings sit the Stanford Cardinal at 5-6. Oregon State, Utah, and Washington State look right behind at 5-7. California sits just below them at 4-7 to create another cluster of teams who are looking up at the leaders. Then there's the Washington Huskies. The Huskies have lost their last 7 games and are sitting at the bottom of the Pac-12 at 2-10. With the conference as tight as ever up and down the standings, every game is pivotal in shaping how each team heads into the Pac-12 Conference Tournament. With 6 or 7 games remaining, anyone can still go on a run, climb up the standings, and completely change the course of the road to Las Vegas.
Thanks, Nick. And while Pac-12 basketball still tries to find its footing, ASU women's lacrosse is looking to do the same in just its 3rd season of existence. The Devils are off already to a 2-0 start to the season under new head coach Tim McCormack. Carrie Clayton has picked up right where she left off, scoring 4 goals versus UC Davis last Saturday in a 16-12 win, while scoring another 3 in a 24-6 victory against Detroit Mercy this afternoon. ASU's 24 goals scored today marked the highest single game total ever in the program's history. And for Tim McCormack, previously an assistant coach at Northwestern, he now gets to face his old team on Sunday as the Sun Devils travel to face the number 3 Wildcats in arguably the toughest game of the program's history to date. Game time is slated for 11 a.m. Mountain Standard.
Well, the Sun Devil lacrosse season has just gotten underway. There's a guy on the mat for ASU that has been doing it for a while and doing it well. This 100 right here, that's not for Wilt Chamberlain. No, it's for Tanner Hall, who picked up his 100th win last Sunday against Missouri in the heavyweight division. Hall has been in Tempe since 2015 and is currently in his redshirt senior season.
When it comes to Territorial Cup action here in Tempe this season, the Sun Devils have protected home ground against that team down south. Football? Check. Men's basketball? Check. How about swimming? You can check that one off too. The Devils' men's and women's swim teams both took down the Wildcats respectively at Mona Plummer Aquatic Center last Saturday. And for more from both of those meets, here's Rachel Phillips.
Saturday marked a Territorial Cup worth remembering for ASU swimming. The Sun Devils rattled off not 1 or 2, but 28 wins against Arizona, amassing to a devilish clean sweep on Senior Day, and a pretty good way to finish off the regular season. Freshman Lindsay Looney led the efforts, winning both the 100 and 200 fly, in the process breaking Ashton Aubrey's 11-year-old school record by nearly an entire second, touching in 1:55.39. Junior Emma Norden won the 1,000, 500 and 200 free for the second week in a row, while Ben Oshesky finished the 1,000 free in a time of 8:57.80, the 10th fastest time in Division I swimming. The women head into the Pac-12 championships later this month with a 2-4 conference record, while the men begin their campaign the first week of March with a 3-2 conference record. From there, any Devils who qualify will make their way to the NCAAs.
Now, if this wasn't Arizona, maybe we could freeze over the Mona Plummer pool and play some hockey on it. But alas, last time I checked, it is Arizona, and the Ice Devils are forced to play at Oceanside Ice Arena. Our Michael Gutnick is here with details on Greg Powers' senior class.
When the Sun Devils take the ice for their final home series of the season, 4 seniors will be honored as the founding fathers of the team's Be the Tradition mantra. From the beginning, Brinson Pashnik transformed into a cornerstone of the program's ascension, weaving hard work and leadership to become one of college hockey's elite defensemen. Brinson is 1 point shy of becoming the first Sun Devil to reach the 100-point plateau. Steen Pashnik brought a relentless energy to the lineup. His physical presence was felt on the ice, taking extended shifts and blocking shots every night. Tyler Bush has fought for the program since day one. He has shown strides each year, collecting a personal best 15 assists and a +15 rating during his senior campaign. Brett Gruber was one of the first overall commits to the program. Gruber has been a staple in the middle six over his 4 years, bringing consistency to the core group of forwards. These 4 helped shape the culture of Sun Devil hockey, but their journey is not yet finished as ASU looks to punch its ticket once again to the NCAA tournament.
And staying on the ice and in the same arena, as a matter of fact, the ASU women's hockey team played its final home game of the season against Colorado last weekend, falling by a final score of 3-0. But for the 3 seniors on this year's team, last Saturday marked their final home game ever as a Sun Devil. We caught up with Erin Rawls, Molly Potter, and Jordan Nash Bolden to let them share their fondest memories of playing for the Maroon and Gold. Hint, you might want to grab some Kleenex for this one.
Going to playoffs the first time, not when we had like a bye, because it was here. When we went, I think it was in Nebraska, and I don't know if we even won. I just remember it being so fun. It's all being together. Yeah, I guess wins don't really matter when you're like having fun.
Honestly, our first win, that was so like worked for, and we put everything into getting to that place. So our first win of the program history was just the best day ever.
Probably last year, just the 1-0 overtime win over GCU here at home. To take a 0 into overtime is like, somebody's got to break, somebody's got to lose it. And I just remember Cat scored the other end. Everybody was pouring off the bench going down there, and that felt good because I think they had gotten us in overtime once that season. We, really wanted to kind of pay them back for it, and to do it here in front of the fans was a lot of fun. But I'm hoping there might be a couple more before the season's over. So.
I don't have a loud voice, so I just learned that hard work can make up for that, and that's how Coach sees it, and that's why she gave me the position of captain. And it's just because using my hard work as an example really speaks volumes when I don't really have a loud voice.
Confidence, I think, with the puck. A willingness to accept the things I cannot change and try to change the things I can.
I think the most important thing is just that I made a difference, that maybe I made somebody's life a little bit easier along the way, and helped somebody figure out what they wanted to do. Maybe helped one of the kids that we coach figure out that she wants to play here, or anything like that, just to kind of ease somebody else's step in the road. Then I did my part.
Women's hockey has been dominating their opponents all season long, but in Desert Financial Arena, the Gym Devils have been facing some of the best teams in the country all season long. Try this on for size, a schedule where you face the number 1, 3, 5, 9, and 10 teams over your first 6 meets. So now, naturally, number 4 ranked UCLA comes into Tempe ready to compete. That girl that went viral last year, Caitlin Ohashi, and by the way, she's a heck of a lot more than that, may not be a Bruin anymore, but Kyla Ross and Madison Koshin, 2 former U.S. Olympians, are. Long story short, this team coming into DFA on Saturday is one of the most fun to watch in all of college sports, not just college gymnastics. and you're not going to want to miss them. Just like Gareth, you're not going to want to miss me beating you in this segment. It's time for the way it is. 3 questions. We're going to go back and forth. Debate, answer, debate, answer, debate, answer question. Monologue at the end for the winner who debated it the best. Are you ready?
Oh, you know, I'm always ready, Tyler.
That's questionable. We'll see, though. So question 1. If you could give any ASU team a Valentine, who would it be?
You know, I definitely have to say Sun Devil men's hoops, and I think that Valentine gift, it'd have to be a little bit Josh Christopher, man. If they can find a way to have a little change of heart, you know what I'm trying to get at there. Can you just imagine the 2021 team with him, Marcus Bagley? I mean, they got to try to find a way to just form that relationship. I think he's a Valentine gift the Sun Devil men's hoops needs badly.
That's a good one. Bagley, Merriman, Christopher. That's a good one, Gareth.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing words for you.
Wow.
Playing on words.
Spin
but
bars.
I'm gonna go to a team with their guy that's already here, Jaden Daniels, right? You need to protect him. My Valentine is going to be a better O-line for ASU football, particularly for Jaden Daniels, because this kid is real. We know it. We saw it this year. He's only going to get better, and he needs a great O-line to do that.
You got to protect the future, Tyler. But the prediction for ASU men's hockey postseason, they're slated to be back in the NCAA tournament once again. How do you think they'll do this time?
Look, I'm going to be in the minority here. I'm going to say, and I'm going to be bold, it's Valentine's Day. I'm feeling myself a little bit, feeling the confidence, feeling ASU hockey. Give me a Frozen 4 run. I'll see you in Detroit, in the home of the Detroit Pistons. Frozen 4 ASU hockey.
You know, Tyler, I really do respect your boldness there. I think I'm going to have to go a little bit more realistic, though. I think this time they'll win their first game and get out of the last 16, make it to the last 8. You know, they'll avenge that loss to Quinnipiac last year, but other than that, I don't think they'll be able to get past that. But I think one win in the tournament is progress for Coach Greg Powers.
Look, it's Valentine's Day. I'm feeling bold. So, on that topic, Valentine's Day, fantastic holiday. Is it underrated or overrated? I think I can tell by your scoff there.
Yeah, Tyler, this is an overrated holiday without a doubt. Like, come on now. You're just going to delegate one day out of the entire year, out of all the 365 days in the year, just for Day of Love and show some compassion. Why can't, like, you know, just be like the Beatles? All you need is love. Aww. Show it every day. Come on now. You're really going to just assign one day out of the year. I mean,
I thought you were going to scrutinize love there, Gareth, but in the end, you warmed my heart. So good for you for that. But unfortunately, you're still wrong. This is why this is an underrated holiday, all right? Valentine's Day provides a fiscally structured way for relationships in this country. You got anniversaries, all right? You got Christmas, you got birthdays, and what's the 4th? You got Valentine's Day. It lets you know your special someone. Let your special someone know on this day each and every year, hey, I'm thinking about you, I'm putting in the effort, this relationship is working, just like I'm about to win the way it is,
please,
and my debating is working.
Also, Jacob Runner, he stole my monologue last time. I need to pick up where I left off.
You're looking for pity on Valentine's Day, Gareth. That's what we're going to resort to at this point.
He swiped the bag on me, you know? Like, come on now. Like,
you got to secure the bag.
And there we go. Thank you. I deservedly so get the monologue. But, you know, this weekend at Phoenix Muni is where Arizona State baseball begins its road to Omaha. The players know all the expectations facing them. They know all the preseason polls. They know everything surrounding them. But now they can finally go out and just play beginning this weekend against Villanova. Head coach Tracy Smith has everything he could possibly want in a potential Omaha-bound club. He has the best hitter in the game with a great supporting cast beside him. He has an improved pitching staff and one of the best pitching coaches in the game watching over the arms. Not to mention, the rest of the Pac-12 is supposed to take a step back, while ASU is supposed to make that leap forward to the top of the standings. All I'm trying to say is that this team has to deliver for its fans who have waited almost 40 years for ASU to win a College World Series. Their patience is running out, because after this year, you will see a new-look Sun Devil team with plenty of new faces out on the field. So get ready, ASU baseball, because you will not receive a better chance to win a national title than right now. And that's the way it is.
Well done, Gareth. Phoenix Muni, where I think you said earlier in the show, it's a good spot for Valentine's Day tonight, but we're going to get into top plays. I'm going to go to the other side of the diamond, Farrington Stadium. Kendra Hackbarth, that's Zahid Valencia's Valentine, takes a walk-off deep. See the replay here from our videographer, Spencer Cheehawk. Northwestern, number 14, goes down in Farrington on a 2-run shot, walk-off, Kendra Hackbarth.
Kendra called dinger there, but Remy Martin here against USC. No field goals for the final 11 minutes versus the Trojans. And look at this one, just toilet bowl in through for the game winner. Take another look. Look at this. Wait. Oh, yes, it goes in. Devils win 66-64.
#1 play since you've been gone. Cielo Meza, no hits, no runs. Sorry, Seattle, you came to play. You didn't come to score. Cielo Meza sits them down one after the other. No hitter, almost perfect, but a no-hitter is good enough. Her first one as a Sun Devil. She's got 3 in her college career now after transferring over to Tempe. Trisha Ford is going to love to see that throughout this season, Gareth.
Yeah, Cielo, she was impressive that first weekend for ASU softball. You know what's also impressive? This show. This has been an awesome experience, Tyler, and just I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.
Gareth, I had a happy Valentine's Day already just because you were alongside me for this fantastic show.
Again.
And we hope our viewers have a great Valentine's Day as well. For Gareth Kwok, I'm Tyler Manion and the entire Cronkite Sports Live crew. Enjoy your night and have a great evening.